All right, we are back. Masonic Smoker Podcast. Happy New Year. This is our first episode
of the new year.
Masonic Smoker Podcast. Make sure you guys are supporting the Patreon. Masonic Smoker Podcast Patreon. There's 3 tiers. Go support $3, $9, $150 for the real patrons. That's the smoker tier. Shout out all my smoker I tier patrons. First things first, I want to give a big special shout out to Green Cleaner, Central Coast Garden Products. Been holding us down this whole time in the podcast studio. If you guys aren't following, go get you some Green Cleaner. I use it in my garden. Keeps the plants clean. Easy ingredients. Easy recipe for success and good IPM. Besides that, make sure you're supporting MasonicSeeds.co, home of the award-winning genetics. We got all the good stuff. Come tap in, check out the website. But today we have, of course, my co-host, my good friend, Frank Castillo, and we got my buddy Sun Grown Midz in the house. Sun Grown Midz, is Trev fine? Is that fine?
Yeah.
We got Trev in the house. Trevor, to be exact. What's up? What's up, man? How you doing? He's a good friend of mine. That's why we have him here, and you guys might know him from all the collegiate dialogue that he might have, or all the PDFs of actual breeding and sciences via his story, where I'll go in and read a page and a half, and there'll be another 36 pages, and I'm just like, I'm good, dog. I think I got the gist. You know? But talk to us, doggy. What's up, man? How you doing, man? What are you up to?
I'm good. Came down to SoCal, family vacation, and so I figured I'd come through and see you.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming down, man.
Yeah. Appreciate my wife holding it down. She's kicking it at Legoland with the kids.
Yo, how many kids do you have?
2.
2? All right,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, 7
Legoland's
and
nice.
3. So.
Yo, shout out the wives. My wife's the actual Masonic smoker. She does all the growing, all the memes. I'm just the
All
face.
the
Yeah, shout out to wives.
Everything. I don't do nothing. I'm just the fucking vessel. You know, she's all the jokes. I just say them louder.
Yeah, my wife has really been writing my act for the past 10 years.
Exactly, and that's the same thing. My act has been written by my wife as well. Thank you, Diana. I love you.
That's actually the new podcast we're producing. It's just all of our wives doing a podcast talking about us.
I mean, sometimes I kind of try to be like, hey, you want to do a podcast with me? But I like it's my way of just getting free content, really good content.
Trying to go viral, doc.
Yeah, my wife's the best. But yeah, thank you for coming in. I met you at Ego Clash, right?
Yep.
2018?
Yeah.
2018, yeah. Jesus Christ. And we're in 23 now. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Is that right? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was 24 or some shit.
I know. I had no idea you were as young. I thought you were an older cat, but when I met you, you were way younger.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. So
Yeah,
you were
turning 39.
You were
this year.
32, 33 at the time.
Yeah.
That's so. You met me. Were you 33 when I met you?
Yeah.
That's gnarly because I'm 369 Masonic Illuminati confirmed.
Hey, it's there's no denying it. The math checks out.
The numbers add up.
That's fucking gnarly. That day, 2018, you gifted me a pack of Malawi, Panama Red, 3 chems, and a couple 88. We're 88
I
at
didn't
the
have
time.
the
No, it
88s
was
yet.
just those
Yep,
3,
it
I
was
believe,
those
at the
things,
time, right?
yeah.
And I went back home and I grew them, and today we smoked the Malawi Wilson, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking full circle as fuck right there. That's
That
for
was-
sure.
That was dope. And I gave them to you because you were already fucking with some things in that genre.
Yeah.
I saw you had the Malawi Panama, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, those
Here's
were,
more building blocks, just so you had them. I didn't think you were even going to grow them.
Nah.
I really didn't.
I didn't think I was going to grow them either, and I did, because it was just something about that rabbit hole, and something told me, man, just grow these. You're already growing all this other shit. Just, see what this landrace shit kind of brings out to you. I didn't know. I just remember going back home and, putting all the seeds on the table and seeing what I got, and those are special, because it was kind of a quick transaction. It was kind of like I didn't know what I grabbed that day. It was so much going on. It was like over sensory overload. There was just so much going on. There's people everywhere. Everyone's showing jars. There's terps in the air. Fucking, it was kind of raining and shit, but even then there was a lot of energy in the room, and everyone would just kind of just grab and go, on to the next one. Especially that's how I am, you know. I'm like, every fucking 7 steps I walk, there's, hey, Masonic, hey, picture Masonic, kiss my baby. So, you know, it's fucking dope. I love it. I'm not complaining. But that was our first interaction. You were like, I explained to people, there's the man in the shadows with the cigarette kind of just leaning against the wall. Like, that's kind of how I remember him that day. It was just the guy like, oh, you're going to need this for your mission. And it's like, here, boom, boom. And I'm just like, whatever, you know. And I go on, and next thing you know, fucking, you crushed a lot of the gear out, and vice versa. I crushed out a lot of the gear that you shot my way, including the 88 G13 hash plants you just gave me. Yeah. I had ran 2019 or something like that when I had got another batch of seeds from you, and I did the Lime Pop 88s, I did the Legend OG 88s, and I'm probably missing 1 or 2, but I did cross them up, and everybody that grows those loves those, including myself, and I revisited that because I liked them so much.
Yeah, you popped more.
Yeah, I popped more because it fucking checks out, you know, and I went through that rabbit hole again, and this time I explored the Hell's Angel RKS.
Yeah.
And the Chem D88. I redid that one. That one I initially did. I'm probably missing the Royal Kush. I had totally missed that one initially, so I did that one again. I grew more Panama Red just for shits and giggles. I didn't keep any of these varieties around. Everything is special. That's what I tell people. Like, don't try to wrap your head around like, oh, I need to pop a million things to fucking... Dude, every single thing here was neat or special, you know. Put it in the network to see if it stands the test of time. But yeah, maybe if you do pop more of one variety, you'll find the one even more special. But all in all, like, it's nothing to disregard. And everything there was special. All, you know, I popped X amount of seeds. It was probably like 100 plants, all in 1 gallon pots. All of the 88s, like, none of them turn purple, even in the cold weather. They're just strictly green, no purple, no thank you. Everything else in the garden, all the hybrids of all the new gear, every offering from any given breeder, myself included, everything just purpled up. And it was a distinct, like, purple. The only thing that did purple up was one of the Panama Red Phenos. Yeah, no, and that's because it's supposed to purple up.
Yeah, it throws purples for
sure. But that was cool, man. I love digging through all your shit, man. And I love when we went through that thing at Emerald Cup. Do you know about one time at Emerald Cup, the DCC stopped us because he was trying to show me some weed.
Oh, that was you?
That was.
I remember that was the big event that happened, or I remember that was a story that happened. I didn't realize that was with you. So what happened?
Yeah, tell him what happened.
It was the Department of Cannabis Control.
Yeah,
which was a ridiculous fucking name of a department.
Yeah, and I came through, and I had a wristband, but I also had BAM's judging pass on me, so I had a pass that made it look like I was a judge. I wasn't really a judge. There wasn't even a competition, but there was a pass that I had that was like an old lanyard, and so, which is like a classic dead move, like, or just hippie festy move. Like, you go in with any random ass pass, even if it's not for that year, just like past years, and
it's like it's a lanyard flex too. You know?
And so I was like going through security, and they're like, "Whoa, you got too much weed here." And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's the harvest ball. It's in the name. Like, they're encouraging people to show up after harvest time, presumably with weed." And so one person wasn't going to let me through. The other lady was like, "He's a judge, let him through." And so I got through with my box. Then everybody just kind of converges all at once. It's kind of early in the morning, and I show up, Mace is there, the ranch is there, Bam is there, Kaya is there, Ghost. Like tons, like pretty much every heady cat that was there at that moment just kind of converged in this center area. And I had this box full of weed and untrimmed flower, or farmer trim, as you saw earlier. The way you like to see
it. Yeah, which was so beautiful.
Yeah. So, and Mace is there, and he's like, "Oh, you grew out all those flowers, let me see him." And I'm just handing him like sticks of untrimmed weed. And in that moment, as he's like going through and I'm describing each of the different Panama Wilson crosses that we grew out and all the other ones, a dude comes and like flashes his badge right in my face, and Mace is like there. And then he wouldn't give it up. He wanted the box, and he was demanding that I put the box in the bag. And I was like, no, dude.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
That's not.
And if you look at the
happening.
bag, there's like weed and seed packs from dudes that were trying to give their seeds away that day, and it was just like, it wasn't.
It was it was like packaged weed, unpackaged weed. It was like everything.
But mixed with trash.
With trash, yeah.
Like
there
they
was
didn't grab a
trash in
clean bag just for this. No, they're like, oh, grab one of those bags. Like that's literally what that's what happened.
Yeah, there was like trash and recycling too. There was like a LaCroix.
There's
in
like
there. Exactly
a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
You know, like just trash in there instead of like having evidence. You know, like something.
Yeah.
Like go weigh it out later and see how much you know.
This is what we confiscated.
Yeah, no.
Look what we confiscated.
Like
and
just
they
like
make their dumb
some
Instagram
mob
posts.
mentality, or I don't
Yeah.
know, like just some bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This smells like bullshit.
Yeah. And so we were just like, no, you're not going to take it. So then we walked over to another booth, and we were standing over there, and the lady that eventually came over, and Jesus was there. Or not Jesus. You know what's good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jerome.
Jerome was there. And he's like, it's CBD hemp. You can't prove it. And I'm just saying it's medical. Like, this is my personal medical head stash. This is 215.
That guy in the argument.
Yeah. And so he's like, no, it's fucking, it's hemp. And you can't prove that it's not hemp. Prove that it's not. And like,
Oh, he was loud.
yeah, he was loud. And they're like, with me, they were like, fuck you. With him, they just kind of gave him this look like, you motherfucker. Like,
You're one of those guys.
you're that guy. You know that we can't disprove that right here. So
Christ. And there's nothing
Just shut
from
up.
like imagine you're like just walk out the thing with your product, right? What are they gonna do? Call the police? And what's
well, no, that's what it kept. It fell down to that, where it was like, I was like, I'm medical. This is my medical. I'm not gonna give it to you. I'll take it to my car, but I'm not like, no way you're getting my box of weed.
No.
And so then they're like, well, then we have to call the cops. And I'm like, okay, then
Call the cops.
Call the cops. And I figured it out the next day because the main lady that I was interacting with, like the head boss that they eventually went to, and there was like 15 or 16, several like plainclothes people, and we're all surrounded up against the wall. It's Mace, Bam, and Jerome are like, we're the last four kind of like up against the wall being like, nah. And so the lady was the number 2, or like she's the head of enforcement. Like she's in the top 3 echelon of the entire bureaucrats in the state of California.
By the way,
of cannabis.
The Cannabis Enforcement Department, that has the same authority to me as the USA Space Marine, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you might as well just wear a fucking costume.
All right, I didn't say that. Frank said that. By the way, you guys, you know, we're good, right? That was just one little scuffle we had. Let's not have another one. If Frank wants to, all eyes on Frank, all right? I'm good. But yeah, she's number 2 in cannabis fucking commissions for that type of
and
shit.
why was she even there? Like,
Fucking
why
bored.
the fuck
Do you think
did
it was
they have
trying
that?
to make a name for herself? To be like,
They
you
were
know,
like just being like heavy-handed on enforcement.
Overzealous.
Wanted to like it
to be
was
like,
the
this
first
is what we
party
can
post
control,
COVID.
This is what. Blah,
I
blah.
think they got hired to do a job that they like they didn't know what to expect, and let alone what to do. So they're just like, oh, no weed? Okay, no fucking weed. No transactions. We're not going to ask what you're handing over, so we're just going to take it all. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of their approach.
Yeah. It was like super law enforcement where it's just like, you have to go there to buy your herb, and you can only get it at these booths. None of this free-for-all handing out
They're
weed
set in
shit.
play so that the dudes that do pay taxes and are going by the books aren't jeopardized by a dude that just has like a mountain of weed and he's selling it, right? That's their job, and it makes sense. Whatever, do your fucking job. But we're like, we got weed, we ain't selling it. This isn't like Zaza. This isn't like nice. This is
like
Farmer Bud.
Exactly, like zero sales from cookies,
and it's
were
way better
lost
than
that
all that
day
stuff
because of my
Yeah.
untrimmed Panama Wilson cross, like
and seeds as well. They're over there like seeds from a dude that made them in his backyard or in his indoor as a hobby grower, and they're over here like, put it in the trash, and they're right there like, dude, like. I don't
Old
make
time
money
collectors,
yeah.
like collect some dudes who show up as like I know MK Ultra was there and he got hassled.
Yeah,
and
MK
like,
Ultra. Shout out MK Ultra
I
Trees.
fucking love MK
Well,
Ultra.
the strain MK Ultra, but he calls himself MK Ultra Trees on Instagram. Really nice guy. I got his 666 Sky Gyro hybrids that he made, and a couple other ones he gifted me at. Where did he give them to me? At Ego Clash, I think. But no, it wasn't Ego Clash. Maybe it was Ego Clash. But I seen him 1 or 2 times within the past 2 months. But yeah, MK Ultra Trees. I didn't know you knew him.
Mutuals and through the gram.
I recognize him through the gram and just being like I know the old names that when I hopped on Instagram were already established names, and they kind of mingled amongst each other and kind of like already had, seeds up for grabs. Like when I hopped on Instagram, El Mexicano Genetics had a nice following, and he was doing all his shit, and I was just like, damn, like, if he could do it, I could do it type of mentality.
Yeah.
And he was a big inspiration for me to this day,
That's dope.
to the point where he came to LA and blessed me with all the cement shoe hybrids that he did. I grew them all out, did some trop hybrids with them. And
Cement shoes?
Cement shoes is like a OG KB,
Oh my
Wet
God.
Dream, blah, blah,
I've
blah.
always
fucking
loved
hybrid.
names like that because it's like, let me guess, it makes you feel like you have cement shoes on?
So, no. I mean, it's just a cool name.
Oh.
He didn't name it. Colt Classic
Colt
Seeds
Classic
named it.
Marcus
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Do you know any of that lore?
I mean,
Is that safe for
that's
camera?
drama. Like, yeah. I don't really know it. Like,
All I know is that on my DMs, I don't know anything. I'm oblivious to all the stuff, right? All I know is like Colt Classic sends me messages, and sometimes I'll get like this eerie message, and I'm just like, what is this? And I just like, I don't ask. I've never asked anybody to this day.
yeah.
And it's kind of weird. And I've heard stuff through the grapevine where it's like, I think I've heard names like Disney thrown around. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Wait, is Disney a nickname for a guy?
Just for anybody to throw Disney in their fucking
or
debate,
Disney like
the
the family?
I don't know, but Sun Grown says don't go there.
Is Mickey Mouse gonna come up and fucking kill me?
I don't know.
So there was old beef, and it has like, it's all around like I believe OG Kush Breath or like some old cookies cut. I am like,
No,
I wasn't in it.
You're
like,
telling
at
a
all.
story. You're
Yes.
reciting a war story.
So internet beef, 15, 16 time period, but
I wasn't
They
on
both-
Instagram yet.
Yeah.
yeah, they both, Gage Green and Cult Classics both worked with the OG Kush Breath, I believe. They both made crosses. I believe the Mendo Breath was the one version of it, and the Tony Clifton and the Cement Shoes is like Cult Classics version. So they got into a beef over
Who read what?
who bred what, and just I don't even know the specifics, but they started beefing, and that's when that started coming out. And Gage Green started calling, like, I don't know if they called him out for being related to Disney or if he tried to flex on them like I'm related to Disney.
Yeah.
But like that was the takeaway that I took from
Like,
the
don't
entire
mess with
beef.
me. Like,
was
I got
like,
family in Disney.
yeah, was that like there was a Disney reference, and
I don't know.
that's the only thing I know about that entire beef.
Yeah.
And it lives on to this day as like
You're never going to both parks in one day on my watch. Park hopper? No.
Wait, you're an annual pass holder? Not on my watch.
You ain't getting
My
a
wife
picture
loves
of Mickey
Disney.
for the
By the
life.
way, whoever has ties to Disney, holler at your
Which,
boy.
by the way, if you're not, I'm not gonna lie. If you're a person with family in the weed industry, and you're just like, I can't lose it. It's the biggest theme park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't not take my kids to Disney.
Yeah.
That'd be the biggest threat ever.
Yeah, straight the fuck up, man. Don't do that. Diana will leave
You're
me.
gonna ruin family vacations for everybody? Jesus, that's evil.
Oh man, this one's getting deep, but let's let's cut. Let's.
Sorry.
I know this is all they want to hear, but I hate to.
Oh, can you
use,
explain?
Use
I'm
Sun
also,
Grown Midz as our vessel for blood on the street.
but it's also I'm a comedian. I don't know anything about anything, so I also have no loyalty, which is why I'm cracking jokes. I'm
right.
sure it's a much serious subject.
I don't have. I mean, I don't have a dog in this.
But
Yeah.
I do want to ask
Or
one
should I?
question though. Hilarious. Can you may not have to explain it to me on camera, but can you someone explain to me the compound genetics thing as a child?
My thing. I think from what I gather from it is Chris from Compound made Compound, and everyone knows him as Chris from Compound, and he partnered up with Node, and they had a disagreement, or maybe they had an agreement to separate ways, and that's the general gist of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a band breaking.
As far
up.
as detail per detail, I would just be speculating, but that is what happened.
Give me your best Alex Jones speculation.
Oh, man. So Chris from Compound is not from Earth. He's Chris from Compound. Shout out Chris. He's the fucking man.
Yeah. I think I met him once.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Chris got fucked with that weekend too at
He
the
did?
Emerald Cup.
Oh, yeah.
They rolled up on him and took a big old bag of weed
Oh,
from him
no.
too. So like they fucked with everybody.
That's crazy.
Like he had a booth. So
That's wild.
So whack.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally
And
whack.
he has not that it matters, but like he's physically like needs the weed. Like you can see who needs the weed and who's just getting high. Like he needs the fucking weed. He has Parkinson's, I think it is, right? And he's like fucking. I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
That
imagine
sucks.
like taking a dude from some. That's fucking whack, dude. Get the
Taking
fuck
some
out of
diabetic
here.
kids
Yeah.
insulin.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. That's kind of whack. I didn't like that at all when I heard that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the Compound story is that he entered into a deal with them and they've decided to go separate ways, but I'm pretty sure that was all embedded within the contractual obligations and deals that he had arranged with Node. I'd heard rumblings of this in the previous couple weeks, months, so
Yeah,
it
I
didn't really surprise me to hear it.
I'm just,
publicly.
I've heard, and I've seen, I go to places and I kind of have my, 2 cents just from being at places, and it's just like where's Chris? Where's Chris? Where's Chris? And whatever. I wish Chris, and I know Chris is gonna crush it in whatever endeavor he has, because at the end of the day he is Compound. It's like if somebody was Masonic tomorrow. It's like, you're not fucking Masonic, and no disrespect, but like that's Masonic. The motherfucker with the curly hair, the guy with the thick rim, bold fucking glasses and neck tattoos. That's Compound, and that's what we're gonna know. But as history goes on, more new growers kind of come into the scene, and that's a lot of new smokers. That's a lot of people to educate every time. Like, oh no, this is actually Chris, and this is so that's their, that's business. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Like Frank Castillo, you're not Frank. No,
Yeah.
That's Frank. Imagine that. That's happening in the weed scene for sure. Fucking Ego Clash. How was Ego Clash? You were in the cave. You didn't? Did you have a piss bucket right there? Like what was happening right there? You were just nonstop from 8 o'clock in the morning till whenever. You were just there every time I turn around. Fucking, you were just there.
We held it down. Yeah.
Out of control.
Deep in the cave?
Deep in the cave.
Yeah.
Ugh,
It was
got that soot.
yeah, no, definitely like the next day it was
I've got what was it? I got the coal miner's lung.
Oh man, it was
the dust, like all the traffic in there, it definitely kicked it up. But
I was on my ass driving a golf cart around for hours, for I don't know how long, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably for like 10 hours or more or less. I don't know.
That was one of the best weekends too.
That
was a fun weekend. There was that show, and then also just to be able to hang out at the after party and then go get pizza with a bunch of people that were on acid, and then all of us were just stoned.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was like.
Were you on acid that weekend?
I was not on acid.
You were
that
watching
weekend.
everybody do it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so
the Colonel with the drop on it.
Yeah.
What?
So
Shout out Jimmy Crackcorn.
Shout out Jimmy Crackcorn. He gave me some kernels. I have a really good friend of mine who was partying really hard that weekend, and he's like, "You got any more of that stuff?" And somebody around us had some of that stuff, and somebody around us just puts a drop on it, and he eats a kernel with a drop of just straight LS, fucking good stuff on there. And we seen him later on, and he was lit, my friend.
Zooted?
He was partying, man. I can't party like that anymore.
Me neither. It was wild just to be at a pizza place and just fucking
all those guys that were laughing at the pizza place.
I was like, you guys are on a much livelier trip than we are. We were just killing chicken wings and fucking slices of
God.
pizza.
You were just killing chicken
I
wings.
was
And
so high.
all right, Frank ate 3 slices of pizza for every one I ate. Frank can eat 3 slices of pizza like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, you guys are lucky I only ordered 3 slices.
That's crazy.
Do you get the munchies bad when you... No?
No.
It's just
I
me.
get the munchies bad, but I'm like a sweet tooth guy, right? When it gets late at night and I'm just, the day's over and I'm just down, no more dabs, and I'm just super high, I'm capped out on weed, like that's when it's like I'm just digging through every drawer.
I like to be full. I like to feel warm, full, and then I can just be a potato under a bunch of blankets. Yeah, it's bad.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's gross.
Fucking A. Fucking, what have you been up to? Any new projects? I know you did the TKM10 deal. I know you did the 88 G13 hash plant. What's the new stud? What are you looking into? What do you have on your mind?
My homie Landhammer Farms, he
Yeah.
made he took the Pina hash plant and selected a male and crossed it to a bunch of stuff.
Jesus,
Yeah.
you think it's gonna give a lot of pina to the progeny?
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
It's
So much pina.
Yeah, so much. It's gross. It's like either too pineapple-y
Yeah.
or, we dropped the pineapple butt melon.
I keep saying pineapple melon butt.
Is that what you gave me?
It rolls off the tongue.
Pineapple
better,
butt melon.
Is that what you gave me?
That's what I gave you.
So that was great. That's what I was getting.
I gave him
right.
like a gram of the pineapple butt
Dude,
melon.
I took that to my wife's family for Christmas, and me and the brother-in-law were just sitting there, and like I'd wake up and he'd be like, "Hey, you up?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You want to come over?" I was like, "Yeah." And we were just ripping it the whole day. It was just nice. It was like a cool little weekend.
It's like a fruity candy.
So
funk.
fruity and delicious. That
Yeah.
was the nice thing.
It's really good stuff.
He was like, "Oh, this is nice." I was like,
I
"Yeah,
got
man."
some more for you.
Oh,
today.
wow.
Yeah, I got you. Well, thanks to him, he kicked me down a fucking massive jar of it. Fucking appreciate
yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, appreciate Johnny, Uplifted Meds.
Yeah,
He,
uplift
no,
your
I think-
mind.
I think
uplift your minds and
Uplift
uplift
your
your meds.
mind.
Actually, I did. I put it on an episode of Peaked, and then I gave JP the jar, the second jar you gave me,
Which one was that?
because you gave me that first jar when I went up to Christmas.
Yeah.
up for Christmas. That was
Yeah.
delicious. And then when I came back for the podcast, you gave me another jar full of it.
Yeah.
And then I gave that to JP because he took like 2 dabs of it and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's the pineapple butt melon, baby.
I was like, it's the lemon butt, and he was like, no, it isn't. And I was like, no, it's the butt melon. He showed the butt.
The
melon.
butt melon.
But I gave it to him for Christmas, and he loved it. He said, in his words, he took 2 dabs of it, and he goes, "This is going in my freezer, and I'm not taking it out."
Is that Donnie Burger Pina?
Yeah.
I said,
yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. So that
Rippers.
is. He said that's a permanent freezer, not coming out unless it's a fucking sweet day kind of thing. He said he
Damn,
loves it.
like that?
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, bro, I'm putting this in the time capsule." He's like, "This is too good."
Do you have any more of those beans?
Yeah, we got a lot of them.
Can they hit you up on Sun Grown Midz and inquire?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you guys want some
Hit me up.
Pina fucking washers, holler at my boy Sun Grown, because that's what
That's
I'm
what he
going
was
to be growing more Pina hybrids this
So
season.
yeah,
as
I'm
well.
doing I'm gonna have a nice little setup in my closet, and my patio. But he was talking about certain strains that just wash better than others,
Mhm.
and it was just like finding those. Is it just harder to find those, or is it just like you going through the process?
It's knowing where to look.
Is it yeah? So it's a knowing where to look kind of
Yeah,
thing.
like there's ways of like there's a system and a goal, right?
Mhm.
What's your system? Your system, you just want hash. You know, grow fucking monocrop some GMO. Don't go roll the fucking dice. You want something special and something different than everyone else. Guess what? You got a pheno hat, and
Mhm.
that's a whole nother rabbit hole and a lane you're gonna go down. But all in all, like I tell people do what you want to do. Not everybody is with the same goal.
There's people still trying to find like the best washer.
I don't know what people want to do. People are like, I want to grow, but they don't like. All right, you want to grow? Fucking, go get like 10 big ass pots if you're outside, 20 gallons a piece if you're running full term or more, and you're gonna need big soil. But I'm a crazy guy. I want to do everything at once, and it turns out what I want to do is just discover flavors and just play with the plant, and that doesn't necessarily entail cash crop.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't gotta like focus on none of that.
Yeah, that I guess is very interesting too, because you gotta like,
If your hopes are like, oh, I'm like your time isn't gonna get wasted, well, you're gonna waste a lot of your time. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't like worth the squeeze. Like, growing's not for you.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that you're going to do. You're going to pull out clones and clones of trays that are going to die on you. You're going to have a plant die on you. Like, there's a lot of disappointment that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So,
That's why you really got to love it.
You got to love fucking smoking weed, and then you got to be okay at growing it.
Yeah.
Not even good, just okay.
Yeah.
And then you'll be good. And then great, maybe.
Yeah. And I feel like if people start from seed, like, I really didn't have issues in my garden until I started taking clones. That's when I started taking clones and I started having issues. And if you just hold out and start from seeds from your initial beginning, and like you said, you don't have to be great, just be okay. Know the basics and keep it simple. And that's the key to success, at least for the small personal grower. And yeah, I think there's the availability of seeds these days is wild. It's not like it was when I was a kid.
Is it also just, I don't know, I feel like it's just, I watching my wife fuck with plants and shit all day, it just kind of makes me be like, oh, I want to fuck with plants.
You want to fuck plants? Jesus Christ, I leave for 1 second, and Frank's trying to fuck plants. That's not how breeding works, Frank.
I'm coming on these plants and just the weeds just not tasting good.
Doesn't work like that. So speaking of breeding plants, I'm sorry I cut you guys off. I seen some dude crossing hops, like to drink beer, to weed, and it's working.
They're cousins.
They smell alike.
Yeah.
Like when I drink Sierra Nevada, I'm like, damn, that's dank right there. That's some, like, can I smoke this?
Genetically, they're, from what I understand, similar. So
Do you
to
have
the point
any
where
intel
you
on
can't
that?
do that.
Yeah, so I've seen it. People talked about it for years and kind of poo-pooed it and was like, no, that's not possible. They're separate. They're in the same family, but they're not like the same species or even genus, I believe. Taxonomy gets very intense, and you got to get everything right in the nomenclature. But
Whoa.
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Nomenclature. New strain alert.
New
All right,
strand.
back to it.
So they there's a dude apparently who's been doing it, and he like focuses on weird mutant varieties in particular, or cultivars. He likes the ABC, the
Australian
Freak Show.
Bastard Cannabis, the Freak Show, and the Duckfoot, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and the Duckfoot, and hops, and he like makes crosses. And the only person I've seen who I kind of know who's like grown them out is Max. Like,
Yeah, Max,
So
cannabis research
Yeah.
company. Yo, shout out Max. Yo, Max, I'm sorry
So what
if
does
I
it look
ever
like?
rubbed you the wrong way, but you know, you're a good guy and you do great stuff. And I've grown your Berry Freak V2, and people are growing the Berry Freak V2 Wilsons, and the leaf structures are, you know, crazy, and they love it, and they're over here talking about breeding with that to make them full Freak Show varieties and things of that nature, but yeah.
So wait, what does that even look like? The hops and the weed.
Hops
What-
are vines, right?
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very So can you smoke it? Can you drink it?
So
What do
that's
you-
new. So homie's working on it. We're gonna find out.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That's wild.
Yep, he's doing
Yeah.
ligers.
What's that?
A lion and a tiger.
Okay.
That's literally what he's doing, right? Kind of.
Yeah, like I mean, we'll see if they're fertile afterwards.
I think I seen
don't
him
know, it's
pop
wild.
a bunch of the seeds, and like one for every like 1,000 popped or something like that.
Whoa.
Because I follow him, and I didn't keep a tally of what his name was, but I forgot who shouted him out.
I think it's like Picasso something.
Yeah, man. Shout out that guy. If you guys can tag homie in the comment section, please do.
That's wild.
How much time are we in, big dog?
We are right about 35 minutes.
That's perfect, man. Fucking Sun Grown Midz in the house. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Green Cleaner Central Coast Garden Products, man. This is the shit that I use for my plants. It's the Green Cleaner. Keeps them all clean. Keeps them all pest-free, mildew-free. You go grab yourself. Shout out Central Coast Garden Products, #1, baby. Sun Grown Midz in the house. Frank Castillo in the house. We're just riffing right here. We smoked some Malawi. We smoked you smoked this pineapple butt melon. I've smoked some of the strawberries and cream grease monkey Wilson that you've grown. I think you did some of the NL5 Willie Nelsons back at Emerald Cup. Man, I've grown a bunch of your gear. As far as new stuff, you said the pina is what's new.
Yeah, the pina hash plant. We just made a bunch of crosses and tested them out this last
What are the crosses? I know your catalog is like crazy. Every time I see the females that you used, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker got a nice catalog, like Dosey 88, and I think you did an Oreos pina. Has anybody played with those?
We grew them out, and it's an Oreos cross.
Oh,
so,
shitty.
Well, so that's the thing. There's some, and we smell them, and Poetry grew a bunch out as well.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, there's some that aren't so good. And we fucking went through about 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, that's like old school Reggie, like the Bammer from back in the day, like 90s Bammer.
Jesus
so
Christ,
not even
Oreos.
Like contemporary Bammer, but like Oreos, but like 90s Bammer. And we're just like, oh, this is so bad. But then the ones that got the pina,
Yeah.
it's fucking dope because that's all we wanted. We
Yeah.
just wanted to take that structure, that sort of like
Sexiness
the
from the Oreos.
bones of the Oreos,
Yeah.
and put pina terps in it.
That's-
And so that was successful. It's not 100%. Like if you're going to grow those out, you're going to have to go through and select the one that's got terps. You're going to get 2 or 3 shitty fucking plants at the end, like that don't have a very good terp profile, that really do have that cardboard sort of terp.
I mean, it's a absence of terps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just it's
Still
smoke.
get you high though?
And if you
it'll
smell
get you
cardboard,
high,
it
but
doesn't
not like-
necessarily
doesn't
smell like
It's
taste
not
anything.
like you're like, I want to go back to that. You're like,
that was weird.
fuck, at the Emerald Cup, I had both the Oreos and the strawberries grease monkey Wilson, and I like dabbed it out and like started up the strawberries and cream because it was like that had terps and flavor.
Oh, yeah,
and
way
so if
more.
you've got a choice, you're always going to pick that one.
Yeah.
But it's also cool because you get to actually make a selection, and make a selection that's for a new grower. It's pretty easy. There's like, you could choose the frosty one that doesn't have a good nose, or you could choose the one that's got like super strong pina terps.
Yep. I know people like to troll me and like randomly show me jars. They'll be like, "How is it?" And I'll be like, "This is Oreos."
I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen. I didn't understand what was going on.
They want me to say it's good.
So they can be like,
Mace likes Oreos.
Ah.
But the nose never lies, you fucking asshole. So
I'm gonna
don't
start
try
buying
it.
you sleeves of Oreos, dog.
Man, they're like, "How is it?" I'm like, "It's Oreos." Like, it's happened at least 5 times for sure.
It's just be a meme of you smacking a thing of Oreos out of someone's hands,
Jesus,
just like
man.
the cookies.
Oreos is a sexy plant, and I've smoked it in hash
So people
form.
like Oreos, or they hate Oreos.
People. There's a demographic for it. I mean, there's a calling for it. There's enough out there that people know what it is, and usually that's when there's a little calling for it. I don't know about it anymore after all the shit thrown on it. But
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people have made fun of Oreos recently.
Yeah.
So why is people making fun of it?
It's the new purple punch.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like, there's always been one that's been like, yeah, exactly. And they're usually purple, they're usually frosty, and they usually don't get you very high.
But they just look
They
pretty.
look incredible. And they build their name off of that hype, where it's like
like a hot
okay,
chick.
yeah.
We don't like hot chicks here.
Nah, man, no girls allowed. You see it on the front sign right there. It
We
says
like
it on
sixes with flavor. All right, never mind.
Frank likes.
I just
Frank gets into it.
My wife's beautiful.
Oh man, fuck yeah! Thank you for hopping on here, Trev.
Yeah,
Anything
thank
you
you.
want to end the show off with? Anything they should be tapping into? Anywhere they could follow you? What's the deal, man? What?
Sun Grown Midz on Instagram. I may do more future cannabis project stuff.
Yeah.
I know I want to come down and do one of the Tuesday sessions, and but yeah, It's been a crazy transition period. I moved back to where I lived or grew up as a kid, and so that's been cool.
You like that? Does it feel fun?
Yeah, it's good. Like,
Is your bully still in town?
Nah.
Or were
like,
you the
I was
bully?
homeschooled, dude. So,
Oh,
like,
so
You're like my brother still is. He's
so I was like the bully because my son got homeschooled. So I was like, hey, you know,
You just beat him up.
eat his grilled
Took his
cheese.
lunch
I
money?
have to give him the experience, you know.
Yeah.
You know, at the fucking
He's still the lunch your wife made him.
yeah. But that's fucking dope. I didn't know you were homeschooled.
yeah. So
Back in
Calaveras,
yeah.
yeah, and like, so, it's good to be back there. I got like our property, my farm, or whatever, like where I can grow some plants. So that's cool. And that's really, it's nice to be back there. I'm involved in a micro license in Oakland, and so we're gonna try and get that popping off this year.
Nice.
It's been a bunch of hurdles, bunch of different shit going on in terms of having a spot, then having to move, but it's all good. And yeah, so that's what, and it's all behind the scenes though. Like, that's not something I'm working on and like building on, but it's not something that's really popped off yet, but I hope to this year.
No doubt, man.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
whatever I can do to help, you know, I'm always here. And I know there's a bunch of other people trying to grab some pineapple melon butt. So
Love me some pineapples. Love
hit
me
up-
some melon. Love me some butt.
hit up Sun Grown Midz, grab some fucking pineapple melon butt if you want some pineapple terps.
So wait, can I ask why pineapple melon butt?
That's what it smelled like.
It smells like pineapple melon and butt.
And but
That's
the Donny
hilarious.
Burger's like gross
He's
and
not
funky.
lying.
And like, we pulled out a nug, and I mean, we're both been changing diapers for too long. And so it's like, that's got that like tropical baby shit.
It's like if your kid took a shit in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Where you're like, we're on vacation, I'm changing a diaper, but it smells like paradise.
No doubt. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it's like if you took a shit in it's like SpongeBob took a shit in the pineapple under the sea
Yeah.
and you ate it and you took a shit in Hawaii.
Okay.
You're gonna put that in the freezer and only bring that out on special events,
Yeah,
that are,
yeah, yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
when
That's what
guests
that is.
are over.
You're like, you want to smell some pineapple butt?
But yeah, shout out Sun Grown Midz. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you
playa.
so much.
Appreciate
I'm glad
you.
we could capture some
It was
of
a lot of
Sun
fun.
Grown Midz on the big YouTube screen.
Yeah.
You guys make sure you go check out all his collegiate posts, and who knows who he's roasting at any given moment. Just
Yeah.
don't go there with him because he's gonna go do the due diligence. He's gonna find all the paperwork, every
You
fucking
use words like
peer
nomenclature.
reviewed article, and you're not gonna win. So just don't go there. Thank you for coming down here, Frank
Appreciate you,
Castillo.
man. Frank,
Anything you want to plug,
appreciate you.
Loco?
Oh, yeah. Catch me on Peaked. I got some shows coming up. Always at the Comedy Store. Subscribe to the Patreon. Hey!
Yeah, subscribe
Yeah.
to Patreon, Green Cleaner.
Tap in on the Patreon, tap in with Mace. Grown lots of his genetics, and I'm going to keep doing it. They'll always be in the garden.
I appreciate you, Sun Grown Midz. It's guys like you that I appreciate holding me down because you guys rock. Guys
Word.
like you, man.
Likewise, man.
Peace. Let's get
Word.
somebody else in here, baby. Let's go.